We are going to demonstrate planks, which is a very common exercise. And it's great for all clients because it works on our core stabilizers, and also when we do it right, it can also help out our posture. The problem is most clients aren't doing them correctly, and what's even more troubling is a lot of trainers aren't correcting them the way that they should. So we're going to start here with Courtney, and we're going to get her started out. So Courtney, go ahead and walk yourself out. And one of the things as Courtney gets into, I'm going to have her start on her knees, because what I want to do is I want to make sure her form is totally perfect before I start progressing her and moving on. So Courtney, before we do anything else really, go ahead and drop your elbow onto your elbows. Perfect. And so you always want to make sure that they have their arms like parallel railroad tracks rather than clasping them, because that just kind of makes poor posture even worse. So she's in her plank position. Now I'm going to start from going from the head all the way down, just because it keeps me very consistent with how I look at form. And before I really start, Courtney, I'm going to give you some tactical cues. Is that okay? All right. So first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that her spine is neutral, her cervical spine. So I'm going to ask her to look down just a little bit more. There you go. And then this part of your head, Courtney, I want you to draw that up to the ceiling just a little bit. All right, now keep looking down, because what you'll notice is clients will start lifting up their head, and really what we want to do is we want to get that neutral cervical spine. So we're good here. Now what I'm going to do is I see a little bit of scapular winging here. So Courtney, really push from the chest. So for us trainers, that's scapular protraction, but she's not going to know those words. So you give her other cues like separate the shoulders, push away from the floor, and this looks perfect right here. So we've got a nice flat back, engaged serratus anterior. Now we're going to go down. She's got a little bit of a low back arch. So Courtney, I want you to do two things at the same time. Think about pulling your belly button in and dropping your hips just a little bit. So engage the glutes, let the hips drive forward. Perfect, okay? Now keep those engaged. Show me some protraction again up at the top. There we go. And then as we go down, all right, so now what we're gonna do, Courtney, keeping this line, I want you to go ahead and straighten up your legs, tightening through the quads. So she's ready to progress now, but as we're going back through it, we can see that there's a little bit of breakdown here. So yep, perfect. And now think about engaging through the core again, pulling the back of your rib cage down toward the hips. Perfect. And then drop down on your knees and give yourself a break real quick. So one thing that we'll notice is as you go down the kinetic chain, we're getting her into great form, but then things start changing back up. So it's always a good idea to go back through it. For that one, we probably held it about 30 seconds. And a lot of times trainers are having them their clients hold their planks as long as possible, working 60 seconds, 90 seconds. And really what we're trying to do is we're trying to get that transverse abdominis to activate, because it's an internal stabilizer. But if we were really trying to get it to activate in daily life, we would have to have Courtney hold it for hours at a time. So instead of wasting an entire session in a plank, what we can do is we can have her go into and out of that plank. So that way it teaches it how to turn on and then back off. So let's bring you back down into your plank real quick. On the elbows, stay on, yeah, go ahead and lift up. All right, so we're gonna hold, tuck the chin in, scapular protraction, belly button in, drop the hips just a little bit, hold 3, 2, drop the knees down for a short tap, back up, right again. Tighten through the glutes, hold 3, 2, 1, drop it back down. One more time, lift it up, tighten through the glutes, perfect, and drop it down. Go ahead and relax. So always make sure that you've got perfect form before you start adding on. If we wanted to continue to progress this exercise, we could have her do a single arm plank or a single leg plank, even plank push-ups. But as you can see, Courtney's in fantastic shape, and that still is a little tough for her. So make sure that form is perfect before moving on.